What up, Raf leaders? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are in South Ruimveldt Gardens. This is Aubrey Barker Road, and I just want to bring you up to date on this new development here. This is two banks, right? Two banks are opening a new headquarters or new building new buildings in this neck of the woods. This is a residential neighborhood that is South Ruimveldt Gardens. I actually discussed this in previous videos when I was making the rounds of South Ruimveldt. I'll get back to that in this series of videos, but I just wanted to bring you up to date on what's happening with this construction project. Now, there are two banks. There is Demerara Bank and Citizens Bank. These are private banks as opposed to government banks, which we've had in Guyana, like the Central Bank in Guyana, Bank of Guyana. But this is a new building being constructed by Demerara Bank. That's their colors, the red and the gray. And the one up the street, that is Citizens Bank, their colors are yellow and green. And they started construction on these buildings during the pandemic around 2020, maybe 2021. And I was showing you a little bit of at a time of this development because it's actually quite transformative. The idea is to bring these banks closer to the residential neighborhoods where people live so that they don't have to travel all the way downtown to do their banking, which is a transformative idea in Guyana because traditionally the banks have actually set up their locations in the city center. And even if you live all the way out, Diamond or on the east coast, you needed to come to Georgetown to do your banking. Now, since then, they've started setting up branches. A lot of these banks now have branches. A branch at Diamond, which is in fact one of the fastest growing neighborhoods. I promise to give you an update on Diamond in a series of videos, which I will do in future. But the idea that you should be building branches into residential neighborhoods so that people don't have to travel long distances to do banking is kind of new, meaning within the last 10 years. And so now you can go to Bartica or Linden and get some banking done. In fact, somebody was complaining at Linden that even though Linden is a town, there was only one ATM in the entire town of Linden. There was just one ATM, and when it doesn't work, people still have to drive all the way to Georgetown, a 60-mile journey, 2-hour journey, just to get their banking done. So this is the context in which these new bank buildings are transformative, or actually quite innovative, because they're addressing what is traditionally an overlooked need, the need for banking services in residential neighborhoods. So it seems they've made progress with these buildings since the last time I'm here. This one seems to have electricity, so it's been electrified. It's not finished, construction is not finished yet, but you can see it's actually been electrified. The facade seems to be closer to completion now. Right there. The facade of the building seems to be in better shape than the last time we were here. So we've crossed over on the other side of the building. You can see they've basically completed the exterior facade of the building. They've completed the exterior facade of the building. Right, this is Mandela Avenue. We're on Mandela Avenue now. Right, you can see that they've completed the facade of the building. Seems as if some painting has to be done yet, and they've actually started working on a new building. That's not sure who's constructing that building, but this is what Citizens Bank looks like here in South Ruimveldt, and that's the Demerara Bank building. It seems as if this is going to be operational within the next year, judging from the pace of construction. Both buildings seem to be close to completion. Now, 3 stories or 4 stories if you count the ground floor, and clearly they're going to offer commercial banking services, meaning personal banking, which means ATMs. I'm not sure there's an ATM in this neighborhood within 5 miles. Right, that's the context. It's about 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Or is it Wednesday? Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. And Mandela Avenue is now waking up. This is East Ruimveldt, that East Ruimveldt neighborhood. I don't think I've done a comprehensive video on these neighborhoods yet. I'm going to come around to doing that video sometime soon. The direction in which we're heading right now is the traffic circle. That's where they have that so-called harpy eagle. What I'm doing now is just showing you this new construction, this new building that's being constructed here at the junction. Now this used to be called the junction. This intersection used to be called the junction, South Ruimveldt, the entrance to South Ruimveldt. But now that they've built the new traffic circle, which I'll show you in a second, this is no longer the main entrance to South Ruimveldt. Now, this is the location of the banks, Citizens Bank and Demerara Bank, in relation to the junction, the old junction. And where are they located relative to the roundabout? The roundabout is located about a few hundred meters, 400 meters or so, no, 200 meters or so east of the junction. So this is what it looks like, guys. This is what it looks like here in Georgetown. It's a transforming neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that's being transformed. That is the plot of land on which the bank buildings are being constructed. That is a reserve. It's a lot like the Merriman's Mall, the embankment that runs beside Lamaha Street, right? These are reserves for government, by the government. There would have been ideal places to put like a light rail, a train line that runs east to west, because that reserve continues all along the divide between South Ruimveldt and North Ruimveldt and East Ruimveldt and so on. So, but that is not what has happened. What has happened is, of course, they have used this reserve for now the construction of these buildings. This is a new building. I'm not sure who's constructing this building and what it's going to be for. Right, so it seems as if they sold part of the reserve to the banks, Demerara Bank and Citizens Bank, and I suppose this one, if I have to guess, would be Banks DIH, maybe a distribution center or something being built here. But it would have been an ideal place to build a train station and the train lines that go with it. Morning. But that's it, guys. That's what's happening in this neck of the woods. Just wanted to bring you up to date on changes in this section of Georgetown as we approach the traffic circle. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana, as we approach this traffic circle. Right, this is the new traffic circle. I always suggested that this would have been better as in an overpass. Right, they could have built an overpass that was much easier to negotiate in rush hour. But they built a traffic circle. The nation seems to be obsessed with traffic circles at this point. But as the volume of traffic that has to negotiate this circle increases, we will discover why this is not necessarily the best solution. That's the new highway. Heroes Highway, now called Heroes Highway. Looking north, Mandela to Eccles bypass. This is the notorious Harpy Eagle that some people are asking should be replaced with sculptures that are much more in line with the other sculptures that were built in the other traffic circles. And that's the entrance to South Ruimveldt. Later!